She had faced armed suspects without flinching. She had walked into burning buildings before the fire crews arrived. But nothing in Officer Elena Ramirez's 8 years on the force prepared her for what a little girl said across a candle-lit dinner table. "You're my real mom." The words landed like a siren in her chest. Elena almost canceled the date twice. Blind dates weren't her thing. After years of night shifts, missed holidays, and one engagement that crumbled under the weight of her badge, she had convinced herself that love was a luxury she couldn't afford. But her partner at the precinct insisted. "He's a good guy," her partner had said. "Single dad, lost his wife a few years ago. Kind, steady, the real deal." So there she was, sitting in a quiet, white tablecloth restaurant in downtown Chicago, still in uniform because her shift had run late. Her dark hair was pulled into a tight bun. Her badge gleamed under the chandelier light. She felt slightly out of place among couples in cocktail dresses and tailored suits. Then she saw him. Mark Dawson stood when she approached. Tall, a little nervous, kind eyes. He looked like the type who fixed leaky faucets himself and packed school lunches with handwritten notes. "Officer Ramirez," he asked gently. "Elena," she corrected with a small smile. They shook hands and the awkwardness softened. But then Elena noticed something she hadn't expected. A little girl sitting beside him. "This is Lily," Mark said, rubbing the back of his neck. "I know this was supposed to be a sitter night, but she begged to come. I hope that's okay." Elena crouched slightly to Lily's eye level. "Hi, Lily." The girl studied her carefully. She had 2 neat braids and wide hazel eyes that seemed far older than her 8 years. In her hands, she clutched a sheet of paper. "Hi," Lily said softly. They sat down, water glasses clinked, polite conversation began. Mark talked about his job as a high school history teacher. Elena shared a few safe stories from patrol, nothing too heavy, nothing too revealing. Lily listened more than she spoke, occasionally glancing between them like she was measuring something invisible. Halfway through dinner, Lily cleared her throat. "I made you something," she said to Elena. "For me," Elena blinked. Lily slid the paper across the table. It was a drawing. A woman in a police uniform, long hair, a badge, a soft smile. Above the drawing in careful block letters it read, "My mom." Elena felt her breath catch. "It's beautiful," she whispered, "but sweetheart, that's not me." Lily tilted her head. "Yes, it is." Mark's fork froze midair. "Lily." The little girl looked straight at Elena, not shy now, not uncertain. "You're my real mom." Time stopped. Elena's training kicked in, the instinct to assess, to stay calm, to de-escalate. But this wasn't a crisis she could radio in. "What makes you say that?" she asked gently. Lily's small fingers traced the edge of the paper. "Daddy says Mommy was brave, that she helped people, that she wasn't scared of hard things." Her voice wobbled slightly. "I asked God to send me another brave mommy, one who wears a uniform so I'd always know she could protect us." Mark closed his eyes briefly, emotion tightening his jaw. "Lily's mom, she was a nurse," he said quietly. "She passed away from cancer 3 years ago." The air shifted. Elena looked back at the drawing. The badge, the smile, the word mom. She felt something unfamiliar stir inside her, a softness she had buried under years of discipline and self-reliance. "I'm not here to replace your mom," Elena said carefully, her voice steady but warm. "No one could ever replace her." Lily nodded slowly. "I know," she said, "but maybe you can be the mom who's here now." It wasn't childish fantasy. It wasn't confusion. It was hope. And hope is the most powerful, fragile thing in the world. Dinner changed after that. The conversation became real. Mark shared how lonely parenting had been. The nights Lily cried herself to sleep. The guilt he felt for even considering dadding again. Elena admitted how empty her apartment felt after 12-hour shifts, how she sometimes left the TV on just to fill the silence, how she had convinced herself that her job and her heart couldn't coexist. Lily, satisfied with her declaration, quietly ate her pasta and occasionally looked up to make sure the two adults were still there. They were. By the end of the night, Elena walked them to the parking lot. "I'm sorry if that was too much," Mark said. "Kids, they don't filter." Elena smiled, but her eyes were glassy. No, she was honest. He hesitated. "Would you maybe want to try this again, just us next time, or all three of us, however you're comfortable?" Elena looked at Lily, who was pretending not to listen but very obviously listening. "I'd like that," she said. Lily beamed. Weeks turned into months. Elena started showing up in small ways. She helped Lily with math homework at the kitchen table, still in uniform. She attended a school play, sitting front row despite having worked a double shift. She taught Lily how to tie stronger knots in her braids and how to stand tall when someone tried to bully her. But the real turning point came one rainy afternoon. Elena responded to a minor car accident near Lily's school. No one was seriously hurt, but traffic was chaos. As she directed cars, she noticed a familiar figure on the sidewalk. Lily, umbrella too small, backpack soaked, watching. Elena's heart dropped. She quickly finished up and jogged over. "Hey, what are you doing out here alone?" Lily shrugged. "Daddy's stuck at work. I was walking home." In that moment, Elena didn't think like an officer. She thought like something else. She took off her own jacket and wrapped it around Lily's shoulders. Then she knelt down in the rain. "You never walk alone like that again, okay? You call me, anytime, day or night." Lily's lips trembled. "You'd come. Every single time." The girl threw her arms around Elena without hesitation. And something inside Elena, something guarded and armored, broke open. That night, after Lily was asleep, Mark found Elena sitting at the kitchen table staring at the old drawing. "You're quiet," he said. "She called me her real mom," Elena whispered, "and I froze." Mark sat beside her. "You didn't run." Elena swallowed. "I've spent my life protecting strangers," she said. "But loving someone like this, that's scarier than any call I've answered." Mark reached for her hand. "You don't have to decide anything tonight." But Elena had already decided something. Not about marriage, not about forever. About presence. About showing up. 6 months later, at Lily's school, family day, children introduced their parents to the class.